Season 59, War number 3. Today we've matched up against 4 Loki. The bands are Corvus, Tigra, Jean Grey, Onslaught, and Mr. Sinister. And my team today is Bastion, Yelena, and Vox. And we're taking a 10-fight war today. 7 fights of which are being taken by Bastion. And this is why I love Old War. This is the amazing adrenaline rush you get of doing a 10-fight run in a row against a gauntlet of these war defenders, just trying to come out without any deaths. And this, while most people might not like it, is why I miss the old map. But getting into my fights, we're going to start today on Path 2 with a rather easy first 2 warm-up fights, starting against this Jean Grey here with Bastion. Jean Grey has inverted controls and stuff, but if I don't get hit, then it doesn't really mean anything, so I'm just trying to not get hit by her special attacks. I'm able to manage her inverted controls pretty well. And then I go for my special 1 here. I'm running the recoil masteries my entire war because all of my champions are at least poison resistant or immune. So I felt like it was worth it. And yes, I do have Yelena on the team for attack, but more on that later. So yeah, we'll definitely get to that. Next up we have Bastion here on node 11, and this one we're just taking with Vox. Vox is not a tactic attacker, but it's fine. The tactic isn't that threatening. It's got the power detonations, of course, but they don't do too much damage. This node is literally only the root because of the fact that Strike Counter Amplify doesn't do anything for Bastion because he doesn't have any passive power gain mechanics. So we just need to worry about the root, and ideally a push into special 2, but because Vox wants to finish his combos, that wasn't easy. So instead he drops a special 1, which I just have to take on the block, but I'm running a combat regen to offset some of that at least, so that helps a little bit. And yeah, here I'm gonna go ahead and combo in, try to get the special 1 off right there, mainly because of the root that was coming than any other reason. And he drops another special 1, like, okay, I'm getting a little tired of these. Because yeah, obviously I'm not going to try to dex it because it'll just do a bunch of burst damage to me if I mess it up, but yeah, we just go for the special 1 here, and then 31 degens is basically going to finish him off. I mean, my Vox finished the fight at 82% health, so I do have to give him a potion for his next fight, but that's fine. Now we're going to go fight Prowler here on node 27 with Bastion. And this is definitely Bastion's strength for Alliance War. This is partially why I'm calling him maybe the best war champ in the entire game, because he can take pretty much every hazard shift node, and there's only 2 of them that he can't take without having to just like play the full fight out. Like, he's gonna have to play passive during 2 of the phases and 2 of the nodes, but that's literally it. He can full counter every single hazard shift node except for the 2 with Rupture on it. And being able to full counter hazard shift in Alliance War is kind of ridiculous. So that's part of the reason, but like, there's so many other reasons for Bastion. Like, his kit is just so flexible, having no buffs or debuffs that he needs to rely on, except for his regen buffs, of course, but those are just an added bonus, allowing him to heal through a bunch of different DOT effects in the case of bleed and poison. And yeah, Prowler goes down there. So here is probably one of the most scariest fights this war. This is node 36 Arnim Zola, and I said the tactic is basically meaningless earlier. Well, it's a little bit different when you can only play through half of the hazard shift phase. Now, why doesn't Bastion counter the incinerate phase? Because that's something he normally would do. Well, he doesn't, because Arnim Zola is immune to ability accuracy modifications, so we cannot fail the incinerates from proccing on me. So I was aware of this going into the fight, so I knew he was just going to have to slow play during the incinerate phase. However, Bastion still is very good at fighting Zola because he can parry the non-contact and just get the heavy knockdown that way. Now, that does mean I'm going to take some of the one eye open damage, but it was something that I was just willing to work with. And all of Bastion's damage coming in red means that it's not going to be subject to the cowardice Zola is placing on me. So that's another reason that Bastion is very good for this fight. So here I need to drop my special 1, and I was like really hoping he would throw a heavy there. Of course, he 5-hit combos on my block, so I lose my infection when I'm dropping my special 1. So it does half the damage that it should be doing. Very unfortunate, meaning now I'm not very lined up, and the fight is definitely going to be getting more sketchy than it was earlier, because I can't remove all these disintegrations, which is very annoying because, again, I have to limit how aggressive I am against this Zola, and then he gets my stand-up intercept. So, yeah, at this point I'm like, okay, yeah, we're fine, but it's not looking great. Again, I'm still able to heavy attack pretty well from a parry or a striker like that, to counter a special 2 with a heavy as well. But now that we're in the incinerate phase, he gets another just light attack right into my dash. I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. Yeah, his AI was screwing me over really bad at some points in the fights, but here we go with another heavy attack, remove the ESP charges, and then finally I'm going to go for a special 1 that actually is going to do full damage, as you see here. We drop in the incinerate phase, I get lucky and only get 2 on me, and here he's at 3%. I'm like, okay, so I can kill him. He special intercepts me. I'm like, oh my gosh, how bad is this? So I'm going to kill him, but like, dude, the AI for this Zola was so horrendous, man. So anyway, 2-minute fight, should have been a little bit faster and definitely healthier, but all the same, solo's a solo. And now we take the 6 minis, and well, 1 being the final boss. Now we're going to be taking this Sentinel here with Vox on node 37. This one has the node where he's going to purify 5 debuffs when he drops a special, and in like it's root or be rooted, I think it's called, where if I'm close, I'm gonna get rooted. If I'm far, he's gonna get rooted. And Sentinel is kind of here because 1, the regen's super annoying with him, and 2, the root, once he starts getting into his phase where he's going to go unstoppable in his heavy attack, that's when this fight gets threatening. Because when he's going unstoppable on his heavy and he's rooted, if you get caught by that heavy attack, you're basically dead. So it does mean you kind of want to play it a little bit slower when he's in his final phase. I'm also going to try to delay him going into his analysis complete as long as I can. As you can see, I'm doing like a block partial dex for some of the special 1 just to limit the amount of charges I get. And here I'm going to finally push him into the phase right there, but that's fine. We got armor breaks on us, which are willpower healing, and I have 36 degens, so I'm like, okay, I can kill him at this point. I just need to keep control of the fight, keep hitting him with the degens, don't let him react, and then he goes down. That's exactly what I was able to do with the relic chain. So Vox does that fight perfectly well, and now we're gonna go fight Domino here on node 40. So Bastion is not fully Domino proof. He is able to parry non-contacts, he's able to still get the pursuit, however he is very vulnerable to her failing his abilities. As you can see there, my disintegration didn't trigger, and that's because he has no ability accuracy modification protection. So Domino is one of the few mutants he is rather weak against. However, it's still not weak enough to where this was not a good send. Because of the fact that Pursuit is 16 seconds, making Mixmaster completely irrelevant, and I can fail the Soul Barb, actually. I don't think I really do, and parrying on contacts, that's obviously helpful. I can fail the Soul Barb in this fight, because it's an energy damaging effect, which would be categorized under Bastion's abilities. However, Domino does increase her ability accuracy some, so that's not necessarily a risk that's worth taking. And she dies like in 50 seconds anyway, so not that big a deal, but okay. Whew, this fight was a bit sketchy. This is node 45 Nico Minoru. I have only fought Nico in the Valiant EQ. I practiced fighting her a little bit in practice mode because we got the 3-star. So I felt pretty prepared for fighting this. I knew that if I'm just poison resistant, I don't need to worry about that damage aspect, and I know that I can also fail the frostbites just like I fail any other hazard shift node that is energy damage dealing. So I felt pretty confident going into this, but something is going to go pretty awry right about here. I'm baiting her special 2, she doesn't feel like throwing it, and then I get the block, and then there, I don't know what happened. I swear I dexed. I actually swear I dexed that, but instead I eat the special 2. And that means I'm going red now, which is really bad because that means I just wasted so much time. I placed a disintegration that's just going to get eaten by Conflictor. I didn't get any of my Furies. I kind of have to re-ramp at this point. And she's back to 2 bars. And she's going to continue getting bars of power every time that my dex fails from buff immunity. So it's it's a fight where she's dropping a lot of specials. I don't necessarily want her dropping special 1 because of the miss. And then I decide here to just go for my special 1s without even utilizing the Furies. Now, I don't remember if I actually do go for the Furies a little bit later. There's the Dex that I thought I had the first time. But am I going to go for... I think I am going to go for the special 2. So I need her to drop a special 2 herself here. And then I think I block, and then I do just continue to block, okay? Because there was kind of no reason to Dex it there. It made sense to try to Dex it the first time, because that would have... If I blocked it, I would have gone red. Still went red because I ate it, but... Here, I think the special 1 kills. We have 2 disintegration vulnerabilities active as well. It does not kill. It brings her to like 3%. And then finally, she's going to go down. But we took a lot of chip damage in that fight. Mainly from blocking her special attacks and from recoil. But luckily, it's over. Okay. Here's the fun and interactive fight. I'm using Yelena Belova on attack to fight this Count Nefaria on Aspect of Evolution. Here's the reason for this. Yelena Belova, as you know, has the ability to cap attack rating when she's in her observation mode. So the idea was, okay, if I'm in observation mode, he can't benefit from the attack rating increase from Aspect of Evolution. Furthermore, his special 2 isn't going to gain any Furies or gain the attack rating from the unblockable special 2. Then, once I get the disarm passive up from my special 2, he's capped at 50% of the attack that he had, and he can't increase his attack further when the disarm is active. So basically, the only thing I need to do is Dex his special 2s properly, or push him red with an invul. Push him red with an invul was the original plan, but game lags and I can't parry at the very start of the fight. So immediately I can't invul tank anymore. So now I have to Dex the special 2s. I did this fight in practice mode as well, preparing for this war, and I Dexed the special 2 like 4 times in a row right off the bat. I had no issues with Dexing it. That is not going to be the case here. If he drops a special 1 and consumes the energy buildup, that's fine, because we're doing a bunch of what would be instant bleeds to remove his charges. But he's gaining so much combo and power that he's going to special 2s a lot more. And again, I was confident in Dexing them, because I did it 4 times in a row, first try in practice mode. There I misdexed it. I don't know why I misdexed it. I don't know what I was doing wrong. I think, in hindsight, I was doing it too early, but in the moment, I was like, what am I doing here that's different than when I was perfectly doing it earlier? Yes, I am doing it too early here for some reason. So there's the second special 2 that I ate. Holy crap, I'm dying from incinerate damage. Okay, there's another disarm. Now his attack rating is again capped at 50%. You can't increase it anymore. Holy crap, I ate another special 2. I'm at 4%. I am at 4% health. I'm taking down with an incinerate. My willpower is not my willpower, but my adrenaline mechanic is the only reason I'm still alive. I get a clutch sidestep and kill him at 2% health. That was one of the most stressful endings to a war fight I have ever had, and I couldn't Dex the special 2. I was doing it too early. Like, I didn't know what I was doing wrong at the time. I can see now it was slightly too early when I was going for the first Dex. So, yeah, well, we won. And I think eating 3 SP2s and living against that Nefaria fight is pretty impressive from Yelena's part. So, if I can, like, Dex the special 2s right in the future, that's a great, great plan. But I did not deserve to live there. The only reason I lived is because Yelena's attack cap is OP. So, anyway, we're finishing off the war with Bastion fights. So, lose my invul, of course. Another invul loss, that's really fun. But against Safeguard with Bastion, you have to spam special 1s. I don't know why, but the disintegrations do get capped by Safeguard, but they're also more than 1%. Like, I don't understand exactly what's happening, because they are doing less damage. They are getting capped by a certain number, but at the same time, that number is more than 1%, so I don't exactly understand what the math is, but yeah, you have to spam special 1s with Bastion versus Britain. Well, I mean Bastion versus Safeguard. Anyway, so yeah, we are getting narrow shocks on us, but significantly less often than most champs, because he's failing them 60% of the time. And yeah, she's almost dead here. It's a weird placement, leaving Bastion open for this Captain Britain fight, especially if Maker becomes more popular. But anyway, that fight goes down, and last fight of the war. This is a Yelena war boss. I'm taking with Bastion. Now, preface this right now, Yelena is bugged right now, making Bastion better for this fight than normal. Yelena is not capping the attack rating of instant burst of disintegration, meaning that I can go for my special 2 Furies, and then I can drop my special 1, and the disintegration bursts are going to benefit from the Furies from my special 2. That's not supposed to be happening, and if her bug wasn't in play, I would have to spam special 1s exclusively in this fight, and I don't know exactly if Bastion would be the best play for this boss anymore, especially with recoils, because that's a lot of special 1s, that's a lot of recoil damage. I don't know if that's exactly something that I should do if the bug is not here. Luckily, the bug isn't fixed for this month, and it might be fixed next month, we'll see. But yeah, just preface, right now, that's the reason Bastion's good for this, because his disintegrations are benefiting from the Fury that he gets. Now, furthermore, he is going to regen every time she instant bleeds into my block, or just instant bleeds when I eat the hit, which is really great. So that makes him pretty safe for this, because if you block and she crits through your block, he's going to get that regen. And he's also just really consistent attacker. So anyway, at this point, she's in elimination mode. I know exactly how to deal with elimination mode. I have to hit her block, or if I'm going to land a hit, it has to be a medium, and it can't be when she has the impact passive. So here I have to chill, because she has the impact passive, but I get her to block right there, and then I get her to block again. I just need to get that combo back down to 0, and then I can reset the fight. There, my mediums are fine. If I do get reversaled, I will trigger a healing and not take the bleed damage from the reversal, which is also really great. It makes him pretty safe for this fight, but furthermore, reversals are often a little bit finicky when it comes to how you can react after they happen. So she could, like, literally stand up, intercept me after I get that reversal, potentially. It doesn't always happen, but it's not a risk I was willing to take. So I decided to not play into the reversal, even though I would get that healing and I wouldn't take any burst damage. Just didn't seem worth it to me. So here I'm pushing the special 2, that's fine. I'm very confident in the decks. I was very confident in the Nefaria decks too, but luckily I'm able to get the Yelena one down. So here I'm going to intentionally let, after the special 1 I'm going to intentionally let my infection fall off because it's too low for me to be able to keep it up. So I need to go ahead and rebuild the infection. As you can see, I back up there and I'll let it fall off. So I'm going to rebuild the infection and then go for my special 1 after a relic cancel into a heavy, and then she's going to take the damage from the disintegrations. Not with the full extent of my Furies, because they don't pause during Bastion's special 1 or special attacks. They only pause during Yelena's special attacks, which is kind of interesting, but it's fine. And here I'm like, okay, another special 1 kills her. Don't even need the Furies. I can go for the combo right there and kill her with my last special 1. And that's the 10 fight war. That is 10 fights, 10 solos, 7 with Bastion, bringing freaking Yelena to war. Holy crap, I absolutely loved that. So, unfortunately, I don't love the fact that we lost the war. It was really close for a while. I think we were both at like 6 deaths, and then like every 10 minutes, one would drop 1 and the other would drop 1, and then eventually they just stopped dying before we did. We ended up dropping like 5 more than them at the end, and yeah, they had a very clean last 40-30 fights. So yeah, GG's to 4 Loki. Great job. Good luck to them for the rest of the season. And yeah, that's my war. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.